in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, looking at some pretty nice temperatures out there for this time of the year. We should be right around 37 for a high temperature in the afternoon, and we're aiming toward it. So we're moving right along. Once again, we had a chilly morning. Temperatures in the teens, low teens for some of you. Didn't see any single digits, though, until you get a little bit further north. So an improvement over what it was yesterday morning, where it was just downright chilly. Today, we're going to be working our way up through the 30s into the 40s. As I said, we had a pretty nice day yesterday after a chilly start, plenty of sun and pleasant overnight. I know quite a few folks were interested in seeing that total eclipse of the moon. If you didn't have any clouds or very few clouds, you saw it. It was very impressive, really. For those of you that had the cloudy skies, kind of interesting. It was dark. The morning was quite dark because we have been accustomed over the past few days of seeing a moon that had been gradually working its way up into a full moon. And our early mornings and late nights were quite bright. But as of right now, we had clouds. Now we have clear, and it looks as though we're going to stay that way. Matthew, temperature-wise, what are we looking at right now?
Well, over at the airport, it's partly sunny at 32 degrees. Over in Midland, it's partly sunny at 34. Here at Radio Center, it's partly sunny at 33. We have east winds at 5 miles per hour, and our pressure is at 30.21, and it's steady.
We're going to have sun. We're going to have clouds. That's the way things are going to be working as we go through the next couple of days or so. We're going to see more in the way of clouds as we finish the work week off, and a little bit of some precipitation, some rain, as we approach and get into the first part of the weekend. What are we looking at? Sun and clouds mix. We should hit 40 degrees. I think probably 42 is going to be very realistic. We're going to be looking at a low tonight with cloudy skies, 25. We'll have a light east and then a north breeze as we go through the day today, but then it'll become more westerly as we approach tonight and then into the early morning hours tomorrow, where we're going to see the wind shift around a little bit more southerly, southeasterly, and then eventually easterly, as a series of upper air disturbances are going to be affecting our weather. And as they pass by, they're not really going to affect our weather a lot, but we're just going to see variance in the wind direction. No strong gusty winds, pretty much under 10 miles per hour for at least the next couple of days. And it'll take Thursday before we begin to see a little bit more of wind out there and a pretty good chance of seeing some precipitation. So after tonight, now we are going to have a high pressure right over top of us. So we'll have a high relative pressure. But then during the day tomorrow, after a low of 25, we're going to see a few more clouds around, but still some sun, 50. For a high tomorrow, 32 for a low tomorrow night. We're going to be looking at a wet Ohio River basin as a low pressure system over western Illinois is going to be moving through that particular part of the country right straight east. It's not going to affect our weather hardly at all. So tomorrow, 50 degrees for a high, sun, a few clouds around because of that low moving through the Ohio River basin, 32 for a low tomorrow night. Then moving into the day on Friday, much cooler. The low pressure system is going to draft some cooler air down over top of us as it moves further to the east and southeast of Michigan. So Thursday, after a high of 50 tomorrow, we'll only make it up to about 37 for a high. Shower activity will be moving in as we move through the day on Thursday. After a high of 37, we'll only drop down to about 34. The low pressure system causing this precipitation is going to be a very weak system. So pretty much all of the lower peninsula is going to get some form of rain. More rain in the gauge the further south you get on Thursday and Thursday night. I think the best chance of rain, measurable amount of rain here, a little bit better than 1/4 of an inch, maybe 4/10, possibly 5/10, will occur late Thursday night and into the morning hours on Friday. Friday looks for the most part to be a cloudy day. Once again, rain showers, especially in the afternoon on Friday. Temperatures will begin to warm up on Friday. We're looking at a high temperature of right around 60 degrees with a low on Friday night of only about 52. So this is spring-like weather temperature-wise for the day on Friday. And I don't mean beginning of April. I'm talking mid to late April is where we're going to begin to see temperatures like this. There will be a low pressure system on Friday that starts in Canada, and it will be moving into the Straits area by the morning hours on Saturday. So that's why rain is still in the forecast for Saturday, especially Saturday morning. Middle 60s for a high on Saturday, mid 30s for a low on Saturday night, because that low will be moving off to the east and it'll be pulling some cooler air down over top of us. Sunday, we'll try to get a little bit more real with our temperatures, but still running quite a bit above normal. Upper 50s for a high on Sunday, after a high of 65 on Saturday. And then moving into Monday, the warming trend continues with temperatures in the upper 50s. Obviously, we're running way above normal for this time of the year. All the way through the 16th of the month, we're looking at temperatures at or above average. For a good part of the week next week, we will be much above normal. What's average? Well, 37, as we said, 22 for a low at night. The record high on this date is 69, and that was set back in 1974. The record low is 8 below zero, set in 1943. Incidentally, the warmest ever, 3rd of March, was 1974. 69 was our high, 40 was our low. The coldest ever, you got to go back to 2014. 10 was our high, 6 below zero was our low. A year ago today, it was mild. Matter of fact, a year ago today is going to be pretty much what we saw a year ago last year. 42 was our high, 20 was our low. We're talking 41 for a high today and 25 for a low. We had traces of precipitation a year ago today. Snowiest ever, March the 3rd, a little bit better than 2 inches, about 2.5 inches, and that was in 2015. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew standing by today. Who do we have?
Coming up next, we have Abby Terwilliger from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service Today brought to you by the folks at Hammond Drives and Equipment Company. They can save you a whole lot of time and a lot of worry. Hammond Drives and Equipment in Freeland can help you. Seized bearings, failed electric motors, busted roller chains, leaking hoses. They stock thousands of feet of hose and fittings. from small to large diameter with all ranges of pressure ratings. Water, air, hydraulic, and more can be custom made while you wait at their location in Freeland at 8527 Midland Road. Telephone number? Mark this number down and put it where you won't miss it, because just when you think you got all the bases covered and everything is moving along, all of a sudden you got a problem, a breakdown. 989-695-2239. Again, 989-695-2239. They've got more than 30 years in the business, and they got a warehouse full of electric motors from quarter horse to 150 horse in stock. I mean, thousands of square feet of inventory, industrial products to keep your businesses running, whatever business it is. Factories, farmers, contractors, landscapings. Anytime you can't make that machine move, you're losing money. They don't want you to lose money at all at Hammond Drives. 989-695-2239. Mark that number down. I know you're going to use it if you've got machines, if you've got equipment. With Hammond, no problems, only solutions. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger over at the Andersons. Abby, it looks as though other than the wheat, everything is kind of sleeping today.
Yeah, we had a bit of a bigger rally this morning. May soybeans are about 20 cents off their high for the day. So we were up this morning and it came down, which is kind of a little bit shocking in a way. Looking at the information that I was just reading about, it looks like a lot of it is just coming down off of the rain in the Midwest, unless something crazy has happened in the last hour or so. But January crush for beans was up 7.2% compared to last year at 227.8 million bushels. And then StoneMax also dropped Brazil's total yield for beans from 181.6 million metric tons to 177.8, so about 4 million metric tons there of difference, which is a good amount.
I was going to say that's
yeah.
that's kind of a hefty amount, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of just doing the math, and one of them says 150 million bushels difference, and one says 151,000. I'm thinking it's more the 151 or 150 million bushel. I need to spend a few more minutes doing that math to make sure I do it correctly. That's a big difference in bushels.
Yeah, it is. But again, you and I talked about this a little bit earlier. It just appears to me like a lot of those figures, especially in South America, I really have a hard time believing.
Yes. Yeah, they always seem to be, the grass is greener on the other side type of figures.
Yeah. Well, it's coming to roost. Fortunately for us, hopefully it'll continue to come to roost, because we need some prices out there right now, don't we?
Yes, we do. And
it now you say it was quite a bit higher this morning, huh?
Yeah. So earlier today, May futures were at 1183. Right now we're at 1163 for soybeans, and then for new crop soybeans, we are up to just shy of 1140. Right now we're at 1126. Corn wise, nothing too crazy there. The highest for old crop, 451. Right now we're at 445, and December futures were 474, and right now we're at 470. And wheat is all within about a 10-cent span as well. So soybeans though did have quite the rush this morning.
Well, I guess now wheat had a big rush yesterday early, and things kind of fell off a little bit. Did you have some growers that had taken advantage of some of those prices overnight on Sunday night into Monday?
Yep, we did. We had some open orders in, like I've preached before a few times on here. If you don't have them in, they're not going to fill. But yes, so we did have some that filled, and those guys are happy today.
Oh, that's great. So right now on the board at the Andersons, what have you got?
Right now in Hemlock, we have old crop corn, 415, new crop, 410, old crop soybeans, 1128, new crop, 1061, Red wheat for this summer, 514. White wheat, 534.
You have a great day, Abby. Thank you.
Thanks. You as well.
You bet. Abby Twilliger over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us. The market report brought to you by Weiss Equipment. Those farm-all tractor dealers out there, they're busy, busy, busy. And at Weiss, they're extremely busy because they've got a sales crew out there that pairs you up with the right size farm-all tractor to the job that you need to have done. Anywhere from 35 to 140 horses, that's what's available with those farm-all tractors. Everything from the value-packed compact Farm-All A to the deluxe compact Farm-All C and C series with cabs. Tractor, hey, that tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farm-All. See them today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Market report also brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can talk to their agents directly on their cells for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Doug Klein, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Well, just another day in paradise. I bet those markets are still reacting, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. We got energy prices going up pretty heavy. Crude oil is up about $5.50. Interestingly enough, the precious metals are getting really buried today. We'll get to that in a minute, but it's kind of ugly. Kind of think I remember mentioning that yesterday, that all the gold in Iran is getting ransacked and sold right now. So maybe that's the catalyst. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Target had their earnings out. They were good. They hit a high today. CF Industries is doing quite well today. They hit a new high. Also believe they had their earnings out, and they got an upgrade from Barclays to $120 a share. So I guess that business is okay for those guys. Here's your numbers. The March corn is 433.5, up a quarter of a penny. September corn 456.25, up 3/4 of a penny. March soybeans 11.50, unchanged. September soybeans 11.30 3/4, down 1 1/4. The March wheat is 568.5, down 6, and September wheat 591 3/4, down 5.5. Sugar's at 13.96, up a nickel. Crude oil 76.51, up $5.28. Heating oil 326.83, up 36 3/4 cents. Gasoline is 247.40, up 10.5 cents. Natural gas is 316, up 17.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3663 Canadian. That's down 13 ticks. The dollar buys 157.72 yen. That's up another 38 ticks. The euro's at 115.90. That's down 97 ticks, and that's getting cheap. The dollar's at 99.24 or 26. That's up 88 ticks, and that's getting expensive. Gold's at 51.40.80, down $170.80 an ounce. Silver's 82.61, down $5.94. Platinum's really getting hammered, $2,097.50. That's down $217.40 an ounce. Copper's at 5.80.70. That's down 8 3/4 cents.
All righty. Yeah, that crude oil price. What is that's up? You said about $5.
Yeah, $5 today. It was up. Oh my gosh, it was up like 4 yesterday and 5 today.
Wow.
Yeah, so the stock market started down about 2.3% this morning, and kind of sort of around 1.3% down now. So, rationality comes in after the initial sell-off this morning.
Yep.
So we'll see.
We'll see if the evening process kicks in here anytime soon. I doubt it.
Hope so.
I hope so. Doug, you take care. Have a good one. All right.
Okay.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland Seed headquarters. Vic Huffer and his staff, they're ready to answer any questions you might have. The itch is going to come this weekend with temperatures hovering in that 60-degree mark and a chance of some rain. But don't get in a rush. But Vic has some advice for you, as well as the staff over there. They're ready to take care of whatever you need. Remember, serving you is their business. They've been doing it since 1983. Freeland Bean and Grain. Farmer sentiment is rebounding just a little bit. Nearly 44% of producers report that their operation is worse off than it was last year. 7% plan on increasing machinery purchases. 51% of the farms still expect to expand over the next 5 years, and 36% of farmers plan to bring another family member into the business. So the farmer feelings starting to increase just a little bit. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk a little bit more about what agriculture is going to be facing here regarding all that conflict going on in the Middle East. All of that coming up, but first this.
PowerLift hydraulic doors. Ever heard of them? PowerLift hydraulic doors is the largest hydraulic door manufacturer in North America, manufacturing and installing hydraulic doors for over 30 years. Covering the entire state of Michigan, we can custom design your new door up to 150 feet by 45-foot clear opening. We can fit your airplane hangar, agricultural shed, industrial or commercial structure with a strong, reliable, and high-performance door. Nothing beats a PowerLift hydraulic door built right here in Marlette, Michigan. Our custom hydraulic doors are designed for your toughest jobs.
Hi, I'm Andy. The price we give you is the installed price, and you deal with us from the beginning to the end. To schedule your PowerLift door consultation, call 989-635-8017 and ask for Andy, or visit powerliftdoorsmi.com. PowerLift Hydraulic Doors of Michigan. When you need it done right, we lift you above the rest.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. You know, they understand your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. You got stuff you need to have done. It's an older tractor. You need a part or two. Chances are real good Steiner has got the part, because they do take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts. 800-234-3280. That's the telephone number to order. Or you can go to their website at steinertractor.com. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville, joining us right now. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Terry.
What should we be doing right now, Jerry?
Well, Terry, you're looking at the wonderful weather report we're getting. I mean, maybe a little light rain on Friday and some rain on Saturday. But, now is when we talk about pruning in the winter, this is the beautiful days you get out and, it's high in the 50s. And Thursday, we're looking at maybe 37, Wednesday, 48. Now is when you get out and do that winter pruning. You can see the branches. You can see what you're hitting. And typically when you're pruning trees right now, I drive around and trees scream at me, Terry. Why do they prune me this way? If there's branches that are cut in half because they're too low and you're hitting your head, go back and prune them all the way either to the branch they come off of or the trunk. So just don't cut a branch in half. It looks unsightly all winter long, and it's likely going to branch back out again and get more branches that are too low. So always cut things back to the main trunk or the main branch, and don't cut them back in half. Now that might mean getting on a little bit of a ladder, and might have to even use a saw if they're a little bit bigger, but that's really how you want to do it. It'll look better all year long, and you won't be bumping your head later on in the summer.
Yeah, we don't want to be screaming about bumping our head when the trees are screaming at us to prune.
There's a lot of screaming going on.
Jerry, thank you. We'll talk to you again. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. And by Krejak's House Family Restaurant, those Friday night fish buffets, you got to go there. Get a reservation, 989-894-5531. Now's the time. Krejak's is a great place to dine in, especially this time of the year. And they'll supply the food for any event you got coming up, too. 989-894-5531. Krejak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan on the south side of Bay City. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency joining us right now. And Craig, we've been working at things, but with nicer weather on the horizon, my guess is some construction projects are going to become reality.
That would be my guess too, Terry. The home shows have been happening over the winter, and folks are lining up projects for this year. If you're going to be remodeling the house, building a house, or maybe adding on to the farm as far as building a new machine shed or something like that, make sure that you're talking with your builder about who insures the project during the construction process. A lot of folks think it's automatically done by the builder, and that's not always the case. That is an optional piece of coverage that contractors and builders can buy. Not all of them do. So, if you want your project covered while it's being built, make sure if the builder is not covering it, that contact your insurance company, because you can likely add the building to your policy while it's under construction. So one way or another, it's nice to have those covered in case we get some windstorms or something like that.
Yeah, and that's going to be inevitable, I'm afraid. You have a great day, Craig.
Too.
Talk to you later. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. As we mentioned, agriculture is a little concerned about how all this activity going on in the Middle East is going to affect ag. With more on that, CJ Miller now from Michigan Ag Today.
The Trump administration says their goal is to crush Iran's current regime.
The impact of this could be felt for months in the ag market.
And that's Carl Setzer with Consus Ag Consulting. He says the impact of this conflict won't be determined so much by the fighting itself, but instead by how long it lasts.
The longer it continues to last, the market, a lot of times, it becomes background noise, kind of like the Ukraine-Russia war right now. We're 5 years in, and really that doesn't make the headlines near as much as it used to. What's also going to be a factor is what we see for a new leadership start to emerge in Iran. We're not done with the fighting there by any means. There'll be internal fighting, I'm sure, once they try to elect a new supreme leader.
He says the fighting could possibly send fertilizer prices even higher at a time when they're already sky high.
Most guys have their nitrogen locked in or have their portion of their needs covered for the spring. It'll be past that. What happens if we have to top dress, side dress nitrogen to build up for next fall if this continues long enough?
So what's Setzer's advice for producers?
Patience. Don't panic. Don't dump your inventory. Don't, be concerned. Don't think you missed anything in the market, because you haven't. We've got a lot of growing season in front of us here. We've got to get through this initial reaction to the conflict.
On a side note, USDA's WASDE report is due out on March 10th, and the quarterly stocks and planting perspectives report will be released March 31st. Setzer adds that both reports could provide some market potential.
Let's take a look right now and see what's going on in New York. Teresa over at Baird & Company joining me. Good morning, Teresa. What are we looking at?
Good morning. Well, the current geopolitical events are also impacting the markets, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 685 points at 48,225, 710 million shares traded. NASDAQ down 299 at 22,449, 775 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 722.49, down 29.83. Deere 620.64, down 10.24. CMS Energy 77.23, down 83. Dow 30.21, down 39. DuPont 48.36, down $1.28. Corteva 79.43, down $1.09. General Motors 75.79, down $1.97. Trinzio 10 cents, down 13. Walmart 126.78, down 32. Huntington Bank 16.78, down 18. Independent Bank 34.94, down 42, and AT&T, the only one in the green, 28.41, up 40 cents.
There you go. Teresa, thank you so much. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve.